Hello everyone, Lucio here. Today I am still trying to fill the time until I release Stolen War on Earth, which is making steady progress. But I was thinking, what if I made a tier list for all the movies and shows I've released so far? So here I am doing just what I said. Here I have all the movies, and as you most likely are used by now, the tiers S, A, B, C, D. With S being a movie that in my opinion, I wouldn't change, or I wouldn't change much about it, like just a few touch-ups here and there. A being good enough, B being okay, C being like almost okay, where I still like the general idea and the general product, but I would change a lot of stuff, and D being something I'm not really proud of, or something that I would redo maybe entirely. So let's take them. Yeah, let's take them in the order they are here. I think this is alphabetical, yeah, because it starts with Ben 10. Now, Ben 10 Omnitech is still my most popular movie, and I'm really proud of it. However, I would not put it in S tier, as I still think I can do better, and there's some audio things that I don't like, some framing things. In some shots I feel like the characters, you can see them very well. I might put some example on screen, but the first that springs to mind is a shot in the final battle where you can't see Humongousaur. I mean, you can see his head, so yeah. So I'm just going to pop it in A tier for now. I might adjust these as we go along. Of course, as I am the guy making these movies, I would love for them all to be in A or S tier or around this, but I'm not so sure. Next up is The Guardians. The Guardians I made as a movie basically to introduce more characters such as Batman and Black Widow, even though that is still the only time Black Widow, Daphne Blake as Black Widow actually, has appeared. But I don't really know what else I could do with Black Widow. Of course, Ben 10 and Vector returned in this one. I think the story is quite decent for what it is. The character interactions are pretty okay, but of course this movie used a lot of AI. So while I don't hate it, it's not really one of my favorites, not one that I rewatch often, because I do sometimes rewatch my movies, especially while working on new ones, just to see what I can improve of. So I'm going to pop it in B tier for now. Wait, what's this? Square images. Oh, I can have bigger photos. Okay, yeah, that's better. Let's see, next. Oh, we have the two Sentinels. Sentinels 2 is ahead of Sentinels 1. Yep, basically because Sentinels doesn't have a number. We're going to start with the first Sentinels. Now, the first Sentinels, I quite like. I mean, I really do enjoy what I was able to get out of it. It could be better, of course, and I'm not entirely proud of how I handled Venom as the enemy. Because I don't think now that it's Venom enough, but at the time I didn't really have any other figure that I could use as a villain, and I knew I wanted to introduce Spider-Man in this one, so Venom was kind of a cheap way into using him. So I'm going to put it, I actually wouldn't change that much about it, so I'm going to put this one in A tier. Next up is Sentinels 2, and you can tell from the thumbnail, actually it's not many more members, but yeah, Sentinels 2 I feel is very lackluster as a movie. I enjoyed Green Goblin, I enjoyed working with him, with Norman's version of the Green Goblin. However, I think especially the action scenes, apart from the two fight scenes with Spider-Man in it, I didn't really like this movie and how it turned out. It's fine, it's okay, I don't mind it, but right now I definitely think there are things I would do differently. So I'm going to put it in B tier. Do I like it more than The Guardians? I'm gonna say yes, so there we go. And yeah, I do like Ben 10 Omnitech more than the first Sentinels movie, but not by much. Next up is Pokemon vs Bakugan, and I have said before on this channel that I made this movie just because I knew it would bring in views, and it was easy to make at the time because it just kind of reused sets from the first Toyland movie. I don't hate this movie, although it could be better. I don't hate it. Would I make it differently now? Probably, but then again I probably wouldn't make it at all. So I'm just going to put it in C tier for now, because I don't think it's a D tier. Right, I'm back because I noticed I forgot Shantae Season 1. So I brought it here. Yeah, let's do this one next. The whole Shantae series. 3 seasons, it's still one of my favorite things I've ever done on this channel, because Bubo is my comfort character. I think he might be my favorite original character in these movies. Season 1, let's see, I'm going to hover around with it until I decide. I do like every season of Shantae. I do think, however, that the first one is the weakest one, because it doesn't really have a point, and I mean, all the Shantae movies, the Shantae seasons could have easily been a movie, so that could have been a trilogy. But I wanted to make a show because it's named, it's the last name of the character, and I kind of wanted to go for that Star Wars, Disney, Marvel show vibe that they use now on Disney, make now on Disney Plus. It's not at that level, of course, because I'm not a multi-billion-dollar company or whatever. So would I make things differently now with Shantae Season 1? Of course. Am I still proud of it? Yeah. Do I like it more than the Sentinels 2? I definitely like it more than the Guardians. Do I like it more than Sentinels 2? I'm going to say no, because there's not much action and the animation is kinda sloppy, so I'm going to leave it there for now. Next up is Shantae Season 2, because of course after Season 1 comes Season 2, that's just logical. Season 2 I like much more than the first one, so it's at least going to go here. However, during Season 2 I encountered a lot of issues with the cast and with my life and things. It just took a bit to actually finish this movie and upload it, but this show, sorry, and upload it, but I do like it more than Shantae Season 1. The most obvious problem was the actress for Bubo leaving after episode 1, so I had to take over, and that was a bit of a hiccup in the production. Oh, there's an ambulance coming. I love this city, but the story I told with Bubo being basically a wanted criminal, with Vector coming back to life, with Patch, all that, I do enjoy that. I was looking forward to doing it because I knew that I wanted to do it ever since I made Toyland. So I'm going to put it here, here, with the potential of it moving up to A tier if I feel like it, but right now top of B tier. I do enjoy Shantae Season 2. Season 3, however, is one of my favorite, absolute favorite things I've done on this channel. I've already said Shantae is one of my favorite things, but in quality, yeah, Season 1 and 2 not that great. However, Season 3 I really enjoy, and I still rewatch it kind of religiously once in a while because I just enjoy everything I've done with it. The characters I've introduced, you know, I introduced Vince, Harley Quinn, I brought back Leon, some of the villains. The character interactions I think are really good in this show. The animation is better. The Bubo action figure, I really like it. And the overall story, I think this was a huge step from Season 2 to Season 3. And in fact, I'm going to put this ahead of the Sentinels. The first Sentinels movie. I like it that much. Although I might be a bit biased. First of all, it's my movie, but it's going against my old movies, so that doesn't really make sense. But this is the first appearance of Harley Quinn, and I love Harley Quinn. So I'm going to pop it in A tier, just behind Benton, but it might overtake it later. Next up are the 2 Spider-Man movies I've made, with a third one in the plans. So first off, Kraven's Last Hunt, which follows up just after the first Sentinels movie. Pretty much a remake of the comic. Both are just remakes of the comic that they're based on, but with differences. Now, Kraven's Last Hunt, I was kind of limited by the figures because Kraven is entirely handmade. His articulation was bendy wire and it wasn't that good. He couldn't stand on his own. And Spidey was just limited because it's one of the first Spectacular Spidey body molds made by Hasbro, I wanna say. I don't think Toy Biz got to make Spectacular Spider-Man toys, but if I'm wrong, correct me on that. So the articulation wasn't great, and the movie turned out quite short. It feels rushed when you watch it, in my opinion. So I think this is definitely its place, because I would change a lot of things. If anything, I think I would remake it entirely, but that could be said for almost anything below like A tier. So yeah, I could remake all this, but then I would just remaster every movie, every show I've ever made, which I've done with Toyland, but I thought that was just a fun little thing to throw around. So I'm going to put it here behind the Guardians, so the lowest rated B tier, because I think I'm a little bit more proud of the Guardians than I am of Kraven's Last Hunt. However, Superior Spider-Man, it is one of my favorite comic runs of Spider-Man, and in general. It's one of my favorite movies. I've worked very hard on it, and it took a long time to finish this one. The animation, I think, is better than anything, even what came after it. Of course, until Toyland Warner, but that's not on this tier list because it's not released. I'm proud of the voice acting. I think this movie, yeah, this movie was when Jeb returned after the Sentinels. He wasn't available for Kraven's Last Hunt. That's another thing I didn't like my performance as Spider-Man. I do love playing my favorite character, but I'm not good at doing it. So in this one, Jeb returned. The overall voice cast was quite good. Of course, there are some issues, more specifically with MJ, but I'm going to put it into S tier, because this is always the movie that I show people when they ask, oh, what do you do? Oh, stop motion movies. I show them this because this is the thing I'm most proud of. So this is going to be our first S tier. And looking at what's left, I think the only one. Let's see. Toyland and Toyland Remastered. Now, the first Toyland, first stop motion movie on this channel, not my first stop motion ever, as I've shown in previous videos. I do like it. It's not good. Don't get me wrong, it's not good. But I do like it. As of the first entry in this universe, introducing every single character, you know, Alan, Sonic, Booble, Iron Man, Squirtle, Anchor Plot, even Venom if you count him, Icebreaker, though he doesn't appear much. I'm proud of it as a first entry, but it's not that good. Of course, being made in the pandemic didn't help. I'm going to put it at the top of C tier, because I definitely would change a lot of things. And guess what? I did. Even in the thumbnails you can see the difference, especially in the color grading, in everything. And when watching the remaster, you can tell I've changed a lot of stuff. Do I like it more than the original Toyland? Of course. So it's at least going to jump up to B tier due to all the editing, and I think I even remade most of my lines, voice lines for this movie. Do I like it more than Kraven's Last Hunt? I do. Do I like it more than the Guardians? They're about tied, but seeing as this is a remake, so I pretty much had another chance to make this movie, it shouldn't go. But strictly, if I trust my gut on this, I think I do like it more than the Guardians. So it's going to be here, about midway through B tier. Oh wow, B tier is long. Now, the 3-row show. Why did I make this? Again, the inspiration is the Star Wars, Marvel, Disney Plus shows. I wanted to give some backstory to 3-row because you don't really get much in Benton Omnitech. And I really like the character of David Hall. I like what I've done with him. However, the show as a whole is not that good. I think I could edit it into a pretty decent movie. Am I going to do that? I don't know. Maybe. But so far, I think I'm going to pop it in the top of C tier, because I would change a lot of things about it. Do I like it more than Toyland, actually? The first one? Just because it has a bit more complex storytelling, I think yes. Animation wise, this wasn't great. This wasn't great either, but this was made using Playmobil, so those are a bit harder to animate because they are not that well articulated. Here I was just kind of lazy with the animation. And of course I like both of these more than Pokemon vs Bakugan. So, let's see, am I entirely happy with this? Of course, Spear Spider-Man 8 tier, Panthen Omnitech. I move it up to S tier. No, but I am going to move Omnitech behind Shantae Season 3 because I'm just a bit more fond of Shantae Season 3. I just really love it. Do I love it enough for S tier? Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm going to put this into S tier. Wow. I really am proud of it. So if you don't agree with this, make your own tier list. Pentanomtic Sentinels, okay. I pretty much agree with all of these. Should I move Shantae Season 2 up to 8 tier? Although at the bottom of it. I define 8 tier as the tier where I like the thing, but I would change some stuff, although minor. The things I would change with Shantae are not minor, but they are mostly issues that came by when producing it, not when writing or the show itself. So I am going to move it up into the bottom of 8 tier, still behind the Sentinels, because these two are kind of equal, but I do enjoy this a bit more. Sentinels 2 ahead of Shantae Season 1, yeah, that's all okay. Yeah, I think this is going to be the final tier list. So you can see, I've made a couple of superb things, in my opinion. Of course, these are all compared to each other, not to other stop motions on YouTube, because then I think my top rated one would be B tier, maybe bottom of A tier at best. And actually not that many things I'm not very proud of. Yeah, I think I can say I'm proud of myself. Let me know in the comments how you would rate this, because I really am curious as to what people think of them. And with that, I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.